Alrighty, so once you log into GoGuardian, if you haven't accepted your courses yet, they'll be in the pending tab of classrooms. If you have, they'll be on active. The district just downloads that from Skyward. You can also import your Google Classroom if you don't see it. So each course has different settings that you can look at and make settings. You can view recordings, the sessions. You can also set a scene for when they immediately log in. You can also change how long the course is. So they have different increments of time, or you can select your own time. And you can also start each course with a chat. When you're ready to start a course, you just start class. The next setting is the scenes. So scenes are for your classroom. You have allowed sites and block sites that you can go to. So to make it, you'll just click on Create List. You'll type in a name for the list. So here I just put example. You can add a description, you can change the color, anything like that. Once you name it, you'll click on Next, and from there you can enter in any sites that you want your students to be able to access. When you have this scene on, those are the only sites that they can go to. So if you type in one site, it'll give you a bunch of related sites that you can add, and you can always go in and edit it and add more or take them off. Once you're done, you'll just click Save. As you can see there, right there, you can go through, you can make a copy, delete it, rename it, edit it. You can set it as the default, so every time they log in, it'll go to that. The other is blocked websites. So you'll just create the list the same way. This is one that I've already done. So I wanted to show you what it can look like. You just enter in any website that you don't want your students to go onto. You put it in, and then it blocks them from going there. You can always add or take off that list. So here I'm adding. So I added Minecraft, and then you'll just save. And again, if you want to create a list, it's exactly the same as the creating a scene for allowed classrooms. If you ever have any questions, they do have a tutorial that shows you how to do scenes if you forget. It's really quick, really easy. It's a 3-minute video. Next that I really like is the student reports. Here you can click on a specific course, select a student, you select a date range, and then you click View Report. And it will show you, you can change the date as well. So it'll show you for that specific day the top 5 websites, the top 5 documents, top 5 Google searches. As you can see on my student, we were on Gimkit a lot today. This particular student had their Chromebook sitting open on Gimkit, so it looks like they were on Gimkit all day. They weren't. But you can see the different things for those students, and you can go to any student. You can also see if there were any teacher interventions, how many tabs that they had opened, if you took any screenshots, and you can also see their browsing history, which I find really helpful. You can also, a new feature is see their chat history, so if you talked with them, you can see it. Again, you can go to any student. Right here is what it looks like when you have a course going and it's actively running. You can see all the students' screens all at the same time. You can also set up groups, so if you want to put them by table or things like that, you can do that. I personally just like to have them all on one. You can also click on individual students and see their screens and what they're looking at. You can make an announcement, block them. You can open up a new tab. You can lock their screen so they can't do anything. You can take a screenshot and annotate. I also like the chat feature. So you'll just click on chat. You can type something into them, a message, send it to them, and then they'll automatically receive it on their screen. It will automatically turn the chat on. I personally don't like having the chat on. I leave it on so that students can acknowledge that it's there, but I don't like to leave it on. That way they don't get distracted. Another thing that you can do is you can annotate. This is where you can put a colored circle on their screen. It'll only last for 10 seconds, but it is nice if you need to show someone how to do something real quick. So you'll just click on the screen where you want them to see it. It'll pop up on their screen, and there is a little bit of a delay, so it does take an extra minute, not a minute, but a couple extra seconds to show up on their screen. You can change the color, the size. You can close it out once you're done. I always like to click on screens and then quickly do a little chat so that they know why their screen suddenly had this big dot on it. Like I said, once you chat with a student, it automatically opens up the chat, especially when you're annotating. So if you don't want the students to chat with you, you'll need to turn that chat off again. Okay, so here I'm scrolling down, I can see all my students, excuse me, what they're working on. Up at the top, I can open up a tab. So that means I can send all of my students to a specific website. You can just go through, select certain students, select all. You'll type in a website, it saves your recent ones, which is nice, and then you just click open tab. There is a couple second delay, but then eventually it'll automatically open up a tab on Google and send them straight to the website you want. Sometimes it doesn't send them right away, and you also have to remember that students can click out of that tab unless you have a scene applied. So for example, this student wanted to finish their IXL skill. I told them to do that so that it would show that they can still switch between tabs. You can see what tabs they're on. You can see that they exited out. You can also see at the bottom of the screen for each student, you can see the different tabs that they're on. You can close the tab or you can open it up so that they will go directly to that website that you want them on. So again, that's for opening up a specific website. If you wanted to apply a scene, you could do it right here and do it for all the students. You just select which scene you want to apply. You apply it. This time I did blocked websites. So now as they're working, if they try to go to any of those blocked websites, they won't be able to go at all onto them. So those are some cool features when you have a course open that you can do. Another thing that you can do is apply a scene this way. Like I said, select all the students that you want, apply the scene. For this particular one, I applied quizzes, which means that they can only access the websites that I want them to. If they try to access a different website, it'll look like that on their screen, where it'll say you'll have to unlock it for them if they want to get to it and if you want them to go there. They also have a little screen that will pop up and say, oh, you're off task, you can't do this, or go to a different website. Another thing that you can do is you can set up off-task alerts. So in this video that I have, my students were working on some math skills after they finished a quiz. So when I do that, I just go up to the off-task alert that was at the top, and you can set the different settings for how you want to be alerted or how long you want for students to be off task before you're alerted. So if you come up here, you'll click on the setting tab. You can turn it on and off. And then right there, setting tab, you can put down what subject that they should be working on. You can be lenient, moderate, or strict. And my students were actually doing what they were supposed to do during this time. But what will normally happen is right under the active students, there will be a notification that they're off task. And as you can see right here, I can click on student screen still and see everything that they're doing. It'll give you a little off task alert at the bottom and you can see how long they've been off task.